I thank the President. I thank the President because I rise today to speak about the introduction of Senate legislation to help us deal with the affordable housing crisis in the United States of America. Many of my colleagues know how pervasive this problem is, that not only is affordable housing a crisis, that the homeless population that results from not having enough housing stock in the United States of America ends up costing us more money to deal with the same population. This is not a new issue. It's not a new problem. We've been trying to fight to address this issue in the United States Senate and deal with the affordable housing crisis. But the magnitude of the problem is getting worse, and we need to respond by helping to increase supply. That is because we have so many demographic trends and reports after reports citing and documenting what's happening in the United States of America. We have an ever-increasing senior population that is living longer and baby boomers reaching retirement, and many of them need more affordable housing than is in the marketplace. We have returning veterans from our overseas missions who are coming home and also need affordable housing. We have workforce housing, whereas many parts of the United States of America have had great economic success but not kept pace with the amount of housing stock, and thus the supply and pricing has resulted in astronomical challenges to provide affordable housing within a region that doesn't leave people driving hours a day just to commute to their jobs. And we have the remnants of our economic crisis during the Great Recession that left so many people without affordable housing, and the fact that we did not keep pace with supply. Over the last 2 years, I've worked with many organizations at the national level, participated in the announcement of many reports done by practically every institution in the United States of any significance, and they all came to the same conclusion: we need to increase supply. That is why I'm introducing the Affordable Housing Tax Credit Act of 2019 with my colleagues, Senator Young of Indiana, Senator Isaacson of Georgia, and Senator Wyden of Oregon, to strengthen and improve on the affordable housing tax credit that we already have in place. My colleagues in the House of Representatives, Representatives Del Bene, Marchant, Beyer, and Congressman Walorski are also introducing companion legislation. We did make progress in the last Congress in increasing the affordable housing tax credit. This tax credit helps provide resource for 95% of the affordable housing that's built in the United States of America. That is because it takes the tax credit to incent people to build at this more affordable rate. I've always said to my colleagues, I'm willing to consider any other ideas that we have to increase affordable housing, and we'll work with anybody to increase supply in the United States, and I'm open to any ideas. But until we have ideas that are more successful than this, I'm going to continue to push the affordable housing tax credit and to increase the supply of the tax credit so we can increase the supply of affordable housing. This doesn't matter whether you're in Spokane or Walla Walla, whether you're in Yakima or Vancouver. We have a housing crisis in the state of Washington. Our urban areas feel it the most and are most pinched, but it causes problems for our law enforcement, it causes problems for our healthcare delivery system, it causes problems for our transportation system. So the way out of this problem is to build more affordable housing. By doing this tax credit, increasing the amount of tax credit by 50% over the next 10 years, it will give our states, our cities, our counties more resources to build affordable housing. It will also provide stability in the value of affordable housing tax credits used in the bond finance markets and place a 4% floor under the credit. This gives more certainty to those who are building housing and producing it and rehabilitating that in the market. It also maximizes the availability of the private activity bonds by recycling any multifamily bonds that are used along with housing credits to build affordable housing. Together, these steps would help us build hundreds of thousands of new units of affordable housing over the next 10 years. In my state and other states, it would mean that we would see a 50% increase in the amount of credit available over the next 10 years. That is so important because each housing project that is built takes more people out of the dire situations they're in, takes the vulnerable population, and gives them an opportunity for them to move forward. But it also is saving us dollars. The Senate Finance Committee has heard time and time again from those testifying, whether it's the home builders or the health insurance industry, that it is more costly to deal with this population while they are homeless. That is to say, you can't deliver job training to a tent, and somebody who doesn't have proper overhead of a home and a stable place to live are more likely to show up in our healthcare delivery systems, costing us more money. So this legislation also will make it easier for formerly homeless students to also get help from the Affordable Housing Tax Credit under the current HUD rules of the program. And it also helps with the Violence Against Women Act in making sure that those who are protected under that can also qualify for affordable housing as they have in the past. We know that this challenge of moving forward on affordable housing is something that is a bipartisan issue. The tax credit has had bipartisan support for many, many years in the United States Congress. We just need to put the pedal to the metal and provide more of the tax credit so we can get more affordable housing built in the United States of America. I hope my colleagues will help in signing on to this legislation, and as we discuss various proposals in the Finance Committee regarding tax policy, I hope my colleagues will help us push more solutions out to our states and communities that will deal with this crisis. I thank the President. I yield the floor.